Hey guys, in today's video we're checking out a brand new MIDI controller. This is a portable and lightweight and programmable MIDI controller, and it's this guy right here. This is the TempoPad by Synido. I don't know if I got that right, but it's called the TempoPad. And you can see it's very tiny. It's the size of my hand, very lightweight, very thin, and very programmable. So the timing about this worked out really well. I have a MIDI keyboard and a MIDI foot controller that I like. And I wanted to get one of these, more pad type MIDI controllers. This company reached out to me to see if I wanted to do a review for it for my channel. I was like, well, this is perfect timing. Yes. So they sent me one to check out, and they are the sponsor of today's video. All the opinions in this video are my own, and you can use the timestamps down below to check out if there's a specific topic that you're interested in. Also, I will be doing a giveaway, so one of my subscribers will win one of these for yourself. And also, they do have multiple promo codes going on for the first month that this product is out, so you can find out how to get it cheaper. So be sure to stick around to find out how you can do that. Just FYI, if you know nothing about MIDI programming, I do recommend watching my video about MIDI commands and how to program MIDI and just understanding MIDI. Otherwise, you might get a little bit lost when I start programming this device for the video. So I would watch that one first and then come back and watch this one. Also, something interesting that happens whenever I do anything with MIDI about controlling MIDI, I try to do it as simple as possible. And what I'm going to do with this one is I'm just going to have the MIDI controller and an iPad right next to it, just because it's really easy to see while I'm filming. A lot of people will ask, does it work with this? Does it work with this? Does it work with this? Does it work with that? As long as your device accepts MIDI commands, it will work with it. If it responds to MIDI, either it responds to MIDI and it plays audio, or you twist a knob and it messes with some of the parameters or the reverb or something like that, this device will work with that. I'm just demoing this on an iPad because I think it's just the easiest to see what is happening. So before we get started, this is a music tech channel, gear reviews, tutorials. I do gear giveaways on this channel. If you're interested in seeing more videos like this in the future, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell to be notified when I put out new videos. And hitting the thumbs up button is a free way to support the channel. All right, let's go ahead and check this thing out. Okay, so what's included? You get the main device, you get a manual, you get a cable, USB-A to USB-C, which is used for either powering the device or getting MIDI. And you also get this adapter from 3.5mm MIDI to 5-pin MIDI, which is great because the MIDI out port on this device is 3.5mm, so this is a way to convert it to the more common 5-pin MIDI. On the top, it's very simple. You have this port, USB-C for sending MIDI out. You also have the MIDI out as well. And if your device does not send enough power to the TempoPad in order to power it, it has this port right here so that you can power it with just the standard USB-C cable, which is really great. So my iPad does not send enough power to power this device, so I will need to use that. It's a very smart design. Okay, so I'm going to darken the screen a little bit so you can see it. So I'm going to show you just how this thing is set up on default when you first load it up. But there is software so you can change what these buttons and these knobs will send. But I'll just show you how it looks right off the bat. It specifically does say in the manual that if you are going to use this with Apple products, you are going to need to use that power port up here at the top. So remember, this is the one for MIDI. So if I plug this into my computer, it just turns on completely and the computer powers the device. However, since I'm using it with an iPad, I do need to plug in to the power slot right here. So I'm going to do that with the provided cable and then push the on switch and you see it lights up. So now to make the connection to my iPad, I would do the MIDI out from that MIDI out port and go into the iPad. So using something like this, which is just lightning to USB, and it does have a spot for power, which I do like, so I can use the iPad while I'm charging it as well. So USB-C out to USB-A in. And now you can see I'm able to play notes in Sample Tank here. I'm just going to show you just the basics of how this is set up. So first of all, you have your mode button right here. When you have it like this, this is in keyboard mode, so you have your major scale. Right? Let's go to a keyboard. And you can change your octaves right here. And your octaves. Now when you push the mode button, it'll either be blank and then it'll light up in red. And these are just chromatic right now. Or if you hold mode, they'll all be lit up and then the light will dim when you push on it. And you can see it just goes up chromatically. And then you push this pad bank right here and it'll go up the next octave. And then the next one up. So normally this would all be blue. However, I designed this already using the software to color code them how I wanted to, which I wanted to show you guys that it could do also. So again, you're either in keyboard mode or you have 3 different banks, 1, 2, and 3. Those are your 2 main options. So we know mode and we know bank. So now we have velocity type. So you have 3 different velocity types. So you can set how sensitive you want it to. And then when you get to the white one, it is set to only be at 1 velocity, no matter how hard you hit it. See how quiet that is? If I hit it softly, or if I hit it hard, it's all the same velocity. So you could set that to, 127 or something like that if you want it to all be at 1 velocity. That one is set to quiet velocity. I like green the best. Next up, you have note repeat. So if you turn on note repeat, you have your tap tempo right here so you can see the tempo. So it'll repeat at that tempo. Now I've given it a slow repeat, so now it repeats slow. You do have this option where if you hold note repeat, so you can see these other markings right here. So it says like swing 50, swing 55, swing 64, stuff like that. So watch if I hold it and then set the swing to 64. And then you can choose the type, quarter note, eighth note, 16th note, 32nd note, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to set it to eighth note, swing 84. So now it'll go, let me set the tempo back up a little bit. So now you can see that it's swung. If I want to get rid of that, set the swing back to 50. And then again, I can set the note repeat to 16th notes if I would like. And so on and so forth. So that's your note repeat. Pretty cool. I'm going to set that back to eighth note with no swing. So now we've got that done. We also have controls here. So that's record, play, loop, rewind, stop, and fast forward. All of those are completely customizable. These are the commands that they send by default. I'll post them on the screen now. You can change that. So I could assign this to trigger, a pad or something like that. And I will show you that here in a second. I'll show you what that would be used for. And then you have these knobs right here. So the way that this one loaded by default, this one was for volume. This one was for mod wheel. And these two didn't do anything, so what I did is I assigned this one to the reverb. And this one also didn't do anything. So sample tank is really nice because I can hit this MIDI learn button and I can say, let's assign it to the resonance. So now when it's blinking, it's waiting for a command. So now I've assigned it to the resonance. So you can assign these to whatever you want. Now, the thing that's also cool about this is you also have a knob bank. So you can switch through it. So you should be able to see, so it's in red right now, although there's a little light underneath them that is red. And you can see that knob bank is actually lit red as well. Push it again, and now it's green, but it's sending a different CC command now. Same with this one, same with all of them. They're completely separate CC commands. Push it again, you get to blue mode. So you actually have 4, 8, 12 different knob assignments that you can do, and you can change it with this knob bank, which is pretty cool. Okay, so now I have it connected to my computer, and I'm running the SciMidi app. Links will be down below on where to download it. It's a free download. And you can see now it is just plugged in with the USB. I did not need to plug in power because the computer sends enough power to this. So this is very, very simple. As far as the pads over here, you can assign what you want them to do. So let's go to bank A, and you can see that all of them are red. You can see that right here. So first of all, you can change the color. So here's pad 1. It gives you a color wheel. So let's go ahead and set that one to like yellow. Next one will be orange. Next one will be green. And the last one is red. And if I'm happy with that, I could say send to hardware. And you can see the buttons on the device have now changed. So that's how you change the color, and you can do that on any of them. You have bank A, B, and C. I'm just going to mess around with bank A. I'm going to set a bunch of these to a bunch of different colors just to make it look pretty so we know that this is one that I've edited. There we go. So now I've changed all the colors and send to hardware. So you can see now it has a bunch of different colors. So now I know that it's a bit different. So to change what you want to send, so on the first pad, I can send a note, a control change, or a program change. So on this first one, I'm going to send program change 100 and choose the channel that I want to send it on. So I'm going to say on channel 11, something different. Again, if you don't know anything about MIDI, you should watch my MIDI guide to explain it. That's not really what this video is about. On the second one, let's go ahead and set that to a control change. What control change do I want to do? Let's just say control change 101. Let's set it out on MIDI channel 4. And I can set it to momentary or toggle between them. And then this next one is just going to be a note. I'm going to send this out on MIDI channel 1. What key do I want it to be? Let's say 102. Here, you can also click it and say, I want to send C5 or C1 or something like that, which is pretty cool. In this next one, I'm also going to send a program change, and let's say 103. And I'm going to send that out on MIDI channel 11. So you can customize this to send out whatever you want. So let's go ahead and send that to hardware. And now that's going to save that. So remember the transport controls right here that I told you what they send? Here's what they've all been doing. So rewind is CC21, stop is 22, and so on and so forth. You can change the channel if you would like them to go out on different channels. However, I'm just going to leave this on 1 for this video, and you can set it to momentary or toggle. I'm just going to set it to momentary. You can also set it to MC or CC. I'm just going to leave those where they're at. And then you also have control here over your knobs and your faders right here. So channel touch, or pitch bend. I'm going to leave it just simple right now, is just leave these all on control changes. But again, you can change the same thing here. So right now it's sending CC7. This one's sending CC1. So actually I'm going to set these to 109, 108, 109, and 110. Right? And again, I am on bank A. I could do this on bank B or on bank C, but I'm just going to do this on bank A. Set the minimum value. So I can set the minimum value to be, 50 if I don't want it to go all the way down. If this is my volume control, if I'm going to assign this to volume, I don't want it to go all the way down. And I only want it to go up to 100. That's a way to do that. And of course, you can also set the channel as well. So you can see how customizable this is to fit your needs and do exactly what you want to do with it. And again, I'm going to hit send to hardware, and all of this has now been sent to the device in the way that I want it programmed. Okay, so going back to the iPad and the way that I would use something like this. So first of all, I do want to also let you know, if you guys, I know that I've very often mentioned the wireless MIDI devices. So this does work with the WIDI jack. This does not output the power in order to power the WIDI jack. Most systems do. This one does not. So just FYI. But that's what's cool about the WIDI jack, is that you can use it and plug in power. So I have this connected wirelessly to my iPad. If you want to find out how to do that, watch my video on the WIDI jack. It's a really, really cool system. So you could do this to, obviously do finger drumming. I am not a finger drummer. Something like that. Something interesting that happened, you can see it already happening. So remember, I assigned this one to a program change. When I push that, it loads the natural kit. Push it again. So you can see it's actually cycling through all of the kits. So if I start on 808 kit, push a button, and it's scrolling through. Now I'm on acoustic kit. Now I'm on a natural kit. Really, really cool. Let's go ahead and go to like a string part or something like that. And I'm going to go to keyboard mode. Actually, no, let's go to a synth. So if I want to assign something, if I move this knob, you can see it's not really changing anything. But in Sample Tank, and most devices have this option. So in order to learn something, I'm going to enable MIDI learn. And now I've highlighted the reverb, and I'm going to change this knob, and you can see that it is now setting this to control the reverb on this. Lots of reverb and stuff like that. So that's how I could use something like this. Okay, so it's not also just used for, beat making and stuff like that. If you've seen my channel, I'm really key on using MIDI to control other devices and stuff like that. So one of the things that I do that with is an app called Stage Tracks 3. This is probably the best app I've ever used for running tracks, lyrics, MIDI, and stuff like that. It's such a phenomenal app. I did a 3-part video series on it. You should check it out if you're interested. But what you can do is I could use this to trigger certain songs or different commands in the app. So you could use this to trigger backing tracks. But what I can do is with this app, it's really cool, as you can say assign actions. So all of these actions in here, I can assign to be controlled by a MIDI command. So if I want to assign stop, start, playback, it's saying it's learning, it's waiting for me to push a button. So I'm going to assign this one. And now you can see it has assigned the MIDI data that I programmed this button to send. So now when I push that button, it'll start playing the track that I'm on, right? Same with 500 miles. 500 miles. And then I can stop it as well. Really cool. The app works. I mean, this can be used to control backing tracks or any device that receives MIDI. Let's do this next one. Jump to next song in queue. I want that to be the fast forward button. So I can push next queue. It'll load the next one, next queue, and then push play and stop, and so on and so forth. And again, you can assign that to anything that you want. I could assign this to a volume control of the bass backing track. This could be the drums, bass, tracks, and then like click and cues. And each of them are set to volume or something like that. You could set that in your computer or anything. Anything that accepts MIDI, this device can send MIDI to those devices, whether you're using it to play instruments or to control other devices that read by MIDI. Pretty cool. I love how portable this is, how programmable it is. Very portable, very programmable. I like that about this. All right, so there you go. Very tiny, very portable, and very customizable. I really like that about this. One of the things I do when I perform solo is I am a live looper, so having like a finger drum thing, mostly for like when I do like cover sets and stuff like that, I've been looking at getting something like this, so this is perfect timing, and I'm going to incorporate that into my set. I think the two main things that I think could be improved with it is that one, I wish it was bus powered with an iPad, but that's not always the case with a lot of gear like this, so it's understandable. Secondly, I do wish you could send more than just one message when you push a button. I wish you could send like 3 different commands at once with one button press. That would be very cool for me. Hopefully that will change in the future. So when this product comes out, it's going to be listed at $89.99. And for the first month that it comes out on Amazon, you can click the 12% off coupon code and we'll drop that down by 12%. And on top of that, you can also use the promo code SCOTT USMU in order to get another 10% off of that. So the total will be only $70 for this for the first month that this is out. I'll post the details on the screen now. It'll run until this date, and then don't forget to use those promo codes in order to save a little bit of money on this. Then I always try to do as many giveaways for my subscribers as possible, and they have agreed to do one for this unit. A little bit different this time. You do have to follow their channel, so you can follow them here, and I'll link to that up above and down below. And you have to leave a comment down below in this video. You can say whatever you want in the comment section, but at some point you have to say the magic phrase, peanut butter jelly time. Anyone who leaves that comment with the magic word will be entered to win the giveaway for yourself. I will do the drawing on this date and notify the winner. Please do not respond to scammers. I will never, ever, ever, ever ask you for money for these giveaways. Thanks for entering and good luck. So thank you guys for watching. If you found this content helpful, do me a favor, just hit the thumbs up button. It does a ton to help out the YouTube algorithm and I would appreciate it. If you want to purchase this, the purchase links will be down below in the description. Be sure to watch my MIDI explain video. I think that has helped a lot of people out. And then I also do have a lesser known video. It's MIDI problem solving. So there's always problem solving with MIDI. I have a video specifically about solving for the MIDI headache that all of us feel. So check out both of those videos by clicking the links on your screen now. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at ScottYuleMusic. Thank you guys again for watching. Leave a comment down below if there's any other cool gear you want me to check out, and I'll see you guys next time.